Of course, it had to be Matt Duchene. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, this is not the only elimination that happened today, Lego. Where's the Florida-Boston video? And if I'm going to be honest, I was doing a lot of stuff at home here. I had a lot of chores and had the game on in the background, and I was in the middle of gluing together some stuff and managing some personal projects that I just did not have the time to step away and make a video about Boston, Florida. Besides, the fact that Florida won, yeah, kind of a repeat of last year. Florida, New York's going to be pretty cool, but you bet you're behind that I was up all night watching this game. I was actually watching a bunch of stuff. You know, just cycling through some movies while having the Dallas and Colorado game number 6 on in the background. But ultimately, it's Dallas who ends up defeating Colorado with a score of 3-1 in overtime. And yeah, you heard exactly what I said there. 3-1 in overtime to end off this series with a score of 4-2, and now Dallas, they're sitting back, they're relaxing, they're waiting to see who it is their opponent will be in round number 3, Vancouver or Edmonton. Now the thing is, this is actually Vancouver-Edmonton, the last series of the second round that is still ongoing. Every other matchup has been decided. Florida won in 6, Dallas won in 6, and then of course New York won in 6. So will Vancouver win tomorrow in 6, or will Edmonton come back and force a Game 7 back in Vancouver on Monday? Who really knows? But when it comes to this Colorado-Dallas game, it was a tight one. The pace, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say that the pace was the most, you know, fascinating, amazing, out of this world, crazy, high octane kind of game. But it was pretty methodical, I would say. It was 1-1 for the majority of the game. The shots weren't really being put on too much. I mean, just tuning in and out of the game and seeing what was going on, I was like, really? They only have that many shots on goal? Like, throughout the entire game, I was saying that pretty much. Just the overall intensity, you could tell this was an elimination game. And unfortunately for Colorado, you can say that guys like Nathan MacKinnon, for example, he looked really good. He was flying out there. Cale Makar, though. I don't know, man. Like, I saw a lot of people complaining about Cale Makar from today's game, but other than that, towards the end of it, double overtime, you could see that the Colorado Avalanche were pretty gassed, which is what led to the ultimate game winner scored by Matt Duchene. And honestly, if you watch the overtime goal, you see what happened. You see how Duchene was just right on the side there, waiting for the loose puck, and he's able to put it in the back of the net. Like, this was one of those moments in what was a fifth period of a hockey game where you could just tell, like, the Avalanche players were totally gassed. They were out of steam at that point. They were just fighting to survive. And once it gets to a point like that, you know, you already gave up 1 goal in overtime. It was disallowed due to a really strange goaltender interference call that you could very well say was not goalie interference. But after going through that, not being able to bury it on Ottinger, having a few close calls, but still not getting the bounces to go your way, it was just a matter of time. Like, I mean, Colorado, feel like they were the inferior team here in this one, so the fact that they end up going home in 6 games, while it's not the result we thought we would have seen after Game 1 when Colorado stormed out and took the lead 1-0, it's what we've been greeted with after 5 more games of gameplay between the Avs and the Stars. Now, of course, this is not a great look for Colorado Avalanche hockey because the goals are scored here by Jamie Benn, and then you have Matt Duchene in overtime. Of course, it's Matt Duchene who goes out there and gives the dagger straight to the heart, A2 Brute style, on a Colorado Avalanche team that, of course, we all know he's got a ton of history with. Just seeing the career trajectory of Matt Duchene, going from Colorado over to Ottawa, Columbus, Nashville, having a few great seasons in there, having a few bad seasons in there. Then he gets bought out by the Predators and signs a cheap $3 million contract in Dallas, a team that already made the Western Conference Finals last year. Like, it was a crazy run for this guy. And now he's going out there eliminating his old team and breaking 1 million hearts in the process. You know what's funny about this game? And I know we're not talking about like the game per se, but I wanted to talk about some of the reactions because right after the Colorado Avalanche got eliminated, I feel like many Avs fans were sort of content with that idea. Like, okay, we lost, and we probably should have lost already. Like, the goaltender interference that was called in the first overtime probably was a bit bogus. I mean, Cale Makar pushed the Dallas guy into Alexander Georgiev. Georgiev was also out into the white ice, so if you want to go by some of the rules, that probably should not have been goalie interference because everything was almost self-inflicted. But either way, with the second chance that the Colorado Avalanche ended up receiving, the right team ends up winning the game and the series in totality. So I feel like a lot of Avs fans were sort of checked out already by the time the goal went in, like, yeah, okay, like, it was kind of a result that we were expecting at this point. But the interesting thing about that is that right after, I saw a whole bunch of Colorado Avalanche fans saying things like, okay, now that Dallas has eliminated us, go Canucks! Go Canucks, go! We don't want to see Dallas go out there and make the finals again. We don't want to see Matt Duchene win a Stanley Cup. So go Zadorov, go Vancouver. And then there were a few like, oh, go Oilers, you know, like tossing it out there that they want to see Connor Mack go out there and win the cup in the same way Nate Mack did 2 years ago. But it is interesting to me how now there seems to be a big wave of Vancouver Canucks supporters from these fan bases. And for the Colorado fans, you know, I'm seeing it pop up a bit more. They want to see that Nikita Zadorov go out there and deliver some damage. They want to see Vancouver take it. And maybe this is out of convenience because, oh, the Canucks are up 3-2 on the Oilers. If it was 3-2 Oilers instead, maybe the Avs fans would be saying, go Oilers. But who really knows? This seems to be one of these moments where we're gaining some people on the bandwagon. Oh, I don't know, man. Of course, I'm so biased because I'm a Canucks fan myself, and I would love to see my team getting the spotlight. But we can talk about Vancouver a little bit more in the upcoming days. For now, though, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Matt Duchene ending off this series with a dagger of an overtime goal, one that the Colorado Avalanche probably were just unprepared to deal with, not because they don't have the skill, but because they just did not have the stamina? Is a long game, folks. Long hockey game. 5 periods worth of play. And the goal comes at the very end off the stick of Matt Duchene. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this 3-1 overtime win by the Colorado Avalanche. I will say, when it comes to the Avs fans as well, that 3-1 goal, the 2-1 goal, excuse me, the first goal scored in overtime, a lot of Avalanche fans are saying that they probably should have been eliminated. So, you know, doesn't really seem like they're all too sulky about losing this game in the way that they did. But, you know, it's just kind of being honest and truthful to yourself, right? So, at the end of the day, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about the Colorado Avalanche. Where do you go from here? Well, firstly, you got to get rid of that Valeri Nichushkin contract by any means. However the hell you're going to be able to do that. You have some extra spots opened up with him and his departure. Fill him up other ways. Just see what you can do with that roster spot because, I mean, look, if you had a player in that spot that was actually worth keeping around that's not Valeri Nichushkin, I mean, who knows how far the Colorado Avalanche are able to go. Also, maybe try to invest in a goalie, although I don't really want to say that Georgiev was the problem in this series towards the end. That narrative of him being a problem from Game 1 against Winnipeg seems to have died down a little bit, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Avs and the Dallas Stars. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.